Hi, this is Graham Jaycock here, and I want to discuss the issue of homosexuality and its position within the Christian church. Well, there's different positions of it, obviously, but I want to give my personal belief, and I want to contrast it with suicides that have resulted from education, from the exam process, the pressures of that to be good or whatever. Now, the majority of people, that complained about homosexuality not being permitted first came from homosexuals. Now, they say, you're crippling everyone. Well, we're not crippling everyone, you're only crippling the people that believe that homosexuality is a desirable trait that should be listened to. Because if you contrast it with students sitting exams, now, not everyone will be stressed out by exams, but there will be individuals, and these individuals will do some drastic, they will take some drastic action. Some result in suicide, the expectation of receiving bad results. But I want to ask the homosexuals, I want to ask you this question. The exam process. Do you give love to the person that committed suicide when because of the expectations of the exams? Would you comfort them like you're asking believers of Jesus to comfort homosexuals and not reject them? Because do unto others as you would have done unto. That's the everybody likes that. But if you reject people that commit suicide through the exam process of education, then why do we have to accept the suicides resulting from the homosexuality argument within Christianity? Let's take a position in Christianity itself. In the Bible, Jesus was on the cross and there were two criminals next to Jesus. Jesus was in the centre. Now that in itself is quite an image. Jesus is the centre of life. Now, one of those criminals asked Jesus, if you're the Son of God, get us down from here. The other criminal replied, we are guilty, but this man was innocent. And Jesus replied to that person, today you will be with me in paradise. Also note, he did not have the Bible to believe, because God does not require you to believe in the resurrection and an explanation of the relevance of it. You are required to believe that it actually happened, that it could happen, that it did happen. Something about that man, and this criminal did believe that this man was innocent. Atheists do not believe Jesus was innocent. That's why perhaps they do not get into paradise. But the fact is, as far as I'm aware, that other criminal that did not acknowledge the innocence of Jesus, he was left crippled inside for the duration of his last moments on earth. Jesus did not comfort him being crippled inside. Now, because a decision is a personal choice, you choose to make a personal choice. I hear that from atheists all the time. When you're reading comments in Facebook about news articles and a judge has passed a judgment on a criminal, most of the arguments say, well, a criminal deserves what he gets. He made the decision to do wrong. An atheist made the decision to do wrong, not to consider the evidence of God. A homosexual did wrong for not considering the position that Jesus wanted from that individual, regarding the nature of sexuality. And God chastises all forms of sexuality, heterosexual, homosexual, because the key argument is the faithfulness. It is not the act itself. Because if you cannot be faithful, then that is what causes the chaos in a person's life. The freedom that people have is not through the sexual freedom that they currently observe and partake in, because you are in effect a slave to your desires. I mean, but back to this homosexuality thing. So we have to take a fresh approach with homosexuality. We have to look at the education process of exams. If you say that homosexuality, because people commit suicide, then the church should change its position because a few homosexuals have committed suicide, or whatever decision they arrived at, then the same approach must be taken with education, because equality of law. I know, human rights, atheists demand equality. Now stop with your hypocrisy. Apply human rights equally. Education is wrong if only one person has committed wrong. I mean, the exam process is wrong if one person commits suicide, because atheists and homosexuals say to the church, if one person kills themselves, then it is wrong. The church needs to change its position. And before I go, I am saddened by anyone who wants to take their life for the choices or position or situation that they feel that they have been put into. But I know that God is with those individuals, because the physical body is not important to God. Because that's why you see lots of people with no limbs. They still exist. They're still treated as a person, because a person is not dependent on the body. Anyway, bye.